Welcome to Interesting Talks of Footprints Counselling Service. Today's talk is on the art of patience. Like, share, do leave comments. Now, we all seem to be in a rush these days, but we still claim we don't have enough time. The art of patience. Have you ever wondered why some people can tolerate most anything that happens in their world, and yet you can't seem to handle even the smallest of disruptions? Does it feel like the patience fairy skipped over you at birth, and therefore you struggle to keep your calm in situations that most definitely require it? Patience is one of those virtues that is the envy of all that don't have it. People who exercise a certain degree of calmness and understanding when faced with difficult, stressful situations seem to have a higher level of functioning than the rest of us. It seems like they can handle anything and can succeed more easily because they're able to keep their wits about them in tough times instead of getting all frustrated and angry. Essentially, they're able to keep their mind when the rest of us are ready to pull our hair out. Obviously, I can't do that. And scream at the top of our lungs. Can you learn to be patient? Even if you've never been patient before? In my opinion, the answer is yes. You can transform yourself from a crazy, over-emotional, easy to upset animal into a quiet, calm, rational human being. It will take time, but I believe it's easy to do if you start following steps, if you've got something to look at, to work with. And hopefully what I'm about to present to you will help you to do that. So step one, when something or someone gets under your skin, don't say a word. When you think about the person who is patient versus someone who is not, what is one of the major differences you recognize? It's probably what they say and don't say, as the case may be. Generally, a person who is tolerant doesn't open their mouth and begin spewing words out that they might regret later. So the first step is to learn how to keep your mouth closed when faced with a situation that sends you immediately to the end of your tether. The reason this is so important is that you can't think and speak at the same time. You may think you can, but if you're agitated or upset, it's highly unlikely. Therefore, if you want to give your mind time to process what's going on, then it requires you to stay silent. Now, if you want to say a thing or two initially to get some stress out, that is fine. But don't let one word leave your lips, because once it does, you can't take it back again. Then not only do you have your lack of patience to deal with, but now you have to find a way to try to make amends, because you likely said something very hurtful and very mean. Step two, recognize that it's your problem, not theirs. It's easy to look at whoever is frustrating us and get mad at them. But the reality is that it is our problem. If we lack the ability to deal with them, then it's down to us. After all, we are responsible for how we respond to others and to situations. We control our own actions and responses. There's no such thing as someone making you angry or frustrated or upset. Even if they have a handcuff to you or got a gun to your head, okay, that might be a bit of an exception, but you are still responsible for your reactions. So don't get mad at them. If you behave like a crazy animal and lose control, that's your fault. It's not theirs. Recognizing this is one simple fact that allows you to keep the focus on yourself instead of on them, which is great because it also keeps you in the driver's seat. If you have a problem and you get easily frustrated, as you can't change or control them, then who can you control? You. However, if the problem is, a situation that can be rectified, have a look and see if you can rectify it. But stay calm to begin with. 3, ask yourself why you're upset. To gain patience, you have to realize that it is making you feel impatient. What is it about? the situation or the person that is sending you over the edge. This may require digging below the surface to find out what exactly it is that is getting under your skin. Maybe they remind you of someone else that you're not particularly fond of. That's a form of transference. I will do a video on that at some stage. Or perhaps you're strapped for time and you need to try to accomplish something, what you intended to do. Whatever it is that's bothering you, you need to give it a name, recognize it. When you recognize something, you can understand it and you've got a much better chance of being able to deal with it. 4, look for solutions. The whole world needs to look for solutions. Once you isolate the true cause of your frustration or your lack of patience, it's time to look at ways to relieve the stress and the anxiety so that you aren't pushed to the limit. For example, if you easily get upset with your kids because they don't sit down and do their homework, take it as a sign that they won't succeed. You may decide to do something that makes them actually look forward to sitting down and straining out their brain. Maybe you agree to give them rewards, for good grades, or treat them to their favorite movie when they've done the work. Ideally, you want to create a win-win solution. Make it something that is positive for both of you. The more you reach out, the better it will be for you. Step 5, keep perspective. Even in doing the previous 4 steps, you may encounter times when you still feel tried to the max. Even if you don't say a thing in the face of impatience, recognize it's you and not them. Figure out why you're so upset and come up with a solution. Emotions can sometimes override the best of our sensibilities. You may feel like it's the straw that broke the camel's back sort of thing and decide to lose your cool. If you can just keep your perspective in times like this, it makes outbursts that you're most likely to regret later far less likely. Even though you care right now, you need to ask yourself if you're caring 5 or 10 years time from now. Is this really an issue worth putting this much energy into? If the answer is no, then you need to let it go. Why waste your time and effort when you don't need to? If the answer is yes, it will matter, then it's worth, putting it right. Put some thought into how you're going to deal with the situation so it doesn't blow up in your face. Pull the emotion out of it and actually work on the problem instead of acting like a lunatic, which we all do at times, which gets us absolutely nowhere, probably into more problems. So patience isn't the easiest of virtues to master, but it can be done. Not only will it make you a better person, but it will also give you a sense of calmness and control that you can't be. And then you'll finally be in charge of your life and it will feel good. I was talking to somebody today about this subject that I was thinking about doing. And as I said earlier, we all rush around and try to achieve as much things that we can do in a day. But sometimes you need to work smart. It's not all about what you can achieve. It's how you feel and working smart, being smart about what you're trying to achieve. Anyway, the talk is more or less over. So if you like this video, share it with people. If you know anybody that has lack of patience, definitely share it with them. Until next week, try to enjoy your week and do your utmost best to stay positive. And don't forget, practice patience. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.